Welcome to Attack Adventures today. Tonight you're going to see me go to Reagan's birthday dinner, and I just wanted to show you my outfit. I'll scan down. Little pretty shoes I found. But look at my shirt. I got it from, if y'all ever watch Mark Dice on YouTube, it's in his merch that I got this. I thought it was pretty awesome shirt, so I got it for this occasion. But I want to read a quote starting out for today because somebody gave me a card the other day, and they didn't write in it. They gave me a whole bunch of cards for Ronald Reagan that she had, and I was looking at some of the quotes in there that he said during his time in office as a president, and this was one of the best ones that I've heard so far. And it goes along with what we're going through today, like with socialism that people want us to have, and that some of these groups coming out that they would rather you have socialism. And to me, it puts the hair on my arms, makes my hair on my arms completely stand up when we start talking about having socialism in this country. And we should not go back to that. That's what Germany had, and that's what in World War II, what we were fighting in other countries about, for socialism and communism in their countries, and we were helping out save the people and the Jews that didn't want to have that with their, I mean, you know, with a gun to your, somebody put a gun to your head and make you get into an oven. How would you like that? That's basically what socialism is. And they'll start taking things away from you, like they're coming out with this Green Deal and everything. No flying, no cars, all solar paneled. Come on, you know. So keep on watching tonight, and I hope y'all have a great night tonight. And here is this quote that I'm about to say that Ronald Reagan said while he was in office. Always remember that you are Americans, and it is your birthright to dream great dreams in this sweet and blessed land. Truly the greatest, freest, strongest nation on earth. Ronald Reagan. And I hope y'all can see that. So continue watching with me tonight, and go attack the day in your neighborhood or night. And click that like button, hit subscribe, and come and subscribe. And I'm thinking about doing a giveaway on YouTube. If I get 100 subscribers, we're at 30 something right now, so if we get up to 100 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway from there. And the people that watch me through Facebook, you know my giveaways, I do that a lot, and it won't be answering a question like you do on Facebook to get a giveaway. And sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So continue watching Attack Adventures, and thanks for watching. So I'm at the party early to volunteer, but here's the American flag and the whole setup. This is the GOP elephant that you see me put up in the parades. He's dressed up tonight in the Western theme of Ronald Reagan, how he loved his ranch, and they did a great job on designing him out in Western style. Here's some pictures that someone in the GOP did, and her name is Miriam Chu, and she did this Reagan picture in the Pablo Picasso style. She painted this picture in John Singer Sargent style, and she did this picture in Claude Monet, and they're very awesome. I think they're putting these on auction tonight for people to buy or bid on.
Rader, a veteran of the Iran hostage crisis that was ended by President Reagan, and he will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay.
Folks, Tom is, you might take your hand off your heart at the moment, because Tom has graciously granted me the opportunity for a couple of minutes before we say the pledge. Those of you that were here last year may recall that I led the Pledge of Allegiance last year as well. And I pontificated for way too long. I have thought a lot about that since then. And so here's the shorter version of what I've learned in the last year. First of all, I want to make 3 points. Number one, when we say the Pledge of Allegiance in a minute, it starts with I. That means that not us collectively, but each one of you individually are pledging allegiance to the symbol of our great nation. Number two, you're going to say God. And poll after poll after poll tells us, including one at Harvard University of all places, that atheism is the fastest growing religion in America. And the word that follows God is indivisible. If we look at the current political situation in the swamp, particularly in the Northeast and the West Coast, are we really an indivisible country? Or is that just a dream that we hope someday to realize, hopefully soon again? If we do, 434 members of the House of Representatives, or 435 if Dr. Harris from the 9th District ever gets approved, and 100 senators aren't going to fix that. It's up to us. Whether it be 100, whether it be 1,000, whether it be 1,000,000. It's up to us, each contributing in our very own way, big or small, to make this happen. If we're successful in doing that, maybe in 2020, we can replace one word in the slogan that we've all heard so much for quite some time. The slogan is, "Make America Great Again." Maybe, hopefully, we can have a new slogan, "Make America Whole Again." So, there's my pontification. Please put your hand over your heart again. Pay attention to this flag, and let's do it. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Challenged Gerald Ford, the incumbent president but unelected, in the Republican primaries. Reagan unexpectedly lost the first 5 primaries. He lost New Hampshire, he lost Florida, he lost Illinois, he lost Massachusetts, he lost Rhode Island. And he was expected to win some of these states, and he lost all 5. He staggers into North Carolina in March of 1976. His campaign is $2 million in debt. He's flying commercial planes. Can you imagine Reagan is campaigning for governor, for president of the United States, and he's standing in line like any of us with his plane ticket to get on a flight to go from Washington to Raleigh or Winston-Salem or whatever else. That's how desperate his campaign was. The campaign was out of money. They weren't paying the staff. Every editorial writers all across the country saying, look, you tried, you lost the first 5 primaries, get out of the race. Every Republican official in America was calling on Reagan to get out of the race. There are only 3 stalwart conservatives who were standing by Ronald Reagan in March of '76. Jesse Helms, Tom Ellis, and Carter Wrenn. Jesse, of course, Senator Helms, great American, no longer with us, and Tom, my dear friend, who ran the Congressional Club for so many years, is no longer with us. Carter, I talked to yesterday, is fit and fiddle, and he's with us. But they 3 changed, with you, changed history, because Ronald Reagan won North Carolina. One of the biggest upsets. One of the biggest upsets in American political history. Nobody saw it coming. And it re-energized Reagan's campaign, He went on to win the second half of the contest. He won Alabama. He won Mississippi, or not Mississippi. He won California. He won Indiana. He won Alabama. He won state after state after state. And he goes to Kansas City. And on the eve of the Kansas City convention, nobody knows who's going to be the nominee of the party. It's that close. Out of 2,257 delegates cast, is that on the eve of the Kansas City Convention, August of 1976, there's about 150 uncommitted delegates, and nobody knows which way those delegates are going to go. They're going to go for Ford or Reagan. It's that narrow. Reagan ends up at the end losing by 57 delegate votes out of 2,257 cast. And he is not happy because he knows there's been political shenanigans in the New York delegation, the Pennsylvania delegation, and the Mississippi delegation, and an Illinois delegation. Now Reagan, there was no love lost between Ronald Reagan and Gerald Ford, and that's just a matter of historical fact. There was no love lost between Mrs. Reagan and Betty Ford. That's a true historical fact. But at the last is that, I want to show you this videotape. It was quite remarkable. Gerald Ford is now the nominee of a divided party. Reagan has actually won more primaries than Ford did, but because of the heavy-handedness of the Ford operation, because of the Ford White House, because the party committee is completely in the hands of the Ford White House, Ford ends up with the nomination, although by the narrowest of margins. So I want to, Jonathan, can we go ahead and
we are all a part of this great Republican family that will give the leadership to the American people to win on November 2nd. I would be honored on your behalf to ask my good friend, Governor Reagan, to say a few words at this time. Mr. President, Mrs. Ford, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Vice President-to-be, the distinguished guests here, and you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to say fellow Republicans here, but to those who are watching from a distance, all those millions of Democrats and independents who I know are looking for a cause around which to rally and which I believe we can give them. Mr. President, before you arrived tonight, these wonderful people here, when we came in, gave Nancy and myself a welcome. That, plus this, plus your kindness and generosity in honoring us by bringing us down here, will give us a memory that will live in our hearts forever. Watching on television these last few nights, and I have seen you also with the warmth that you greeted Nancy, and you also filled my heart with joy when you did that. May I just say some words? There are cynics who say that a party platform is something that no one bothers to read and it doesn't very often amount to much. Whether it is different this time than it has ever been before, I believe the Republican Party has a platform that is a banner of bold, unmistakable colors with no pale pastel shades. We have just heard a call to arms based on that platform, and a call to us to really be successful in communicating and reveal to the American people the difference between this platform and the platform of the opposing party, which is nothing but a revamp and a reissue and a running of a late show of the thing that we've been hearing from them for the last 40 years. If I could just take a moment, I had an assignment the other day. Someone asked me to write a letter for a time capsule that is going to be opened in Los Angeles 100 years from now, on our tricentennial. It sounded like an easy assignment. They suggested I write something about the problems and issues of the day, and I set out to do so, riding down the coast in an automobile, looking at the blue Pacific out on one side and the Santa Ynez Mountains on the other, and I couldn't help but wonder if it was going to be that beautiful 100 years from now as it was on that summer day. And then, as I tried to write, let your own minds turn to that task. You're going to write for people 100 years from now who know all about us. We know nothing about them. We don't know what kind of a world they'll be living in. And suddenly, I thought to myself, if I write of the problems, they'll be the domestic problems of which the President spoke here tonight, the challenges confronting us, the erosion of freedom that has taken place under Democrat rule in this country, the invasion of private rights, the controls and restrictions on the vitality of the great free economy that we enjoy. These are our challenges that we must meet. And then again, there is that challenge of which he spoke, that we live in a world in which the great powers have poised and aimed at each other horrible missiles of destruction, nuclear weapons that can in a matter of minutes arrive in each other's country and destroy virtually the civilized world we live in. And suddenly it dawned on me, those who would read this letter 100 years from now will know whether those missiles were fired. They will know whether we met our challenge. Whether they have the freedoms that we have known up until now will depend on what we do here. Will they look back with appreciation and say, thank God for those people in 1976 who headed off that loss of freedom, who kept us now 100 years later free, who kept our world from nuclear destruction? And if we failed, they probably won't get to read the letter at all because it spoke of individual freedom, and they won't be allowed to talk of that or read of it. This is our challenge, and this is why here in this hall tonight, better than we've ever done before, we've got to quit talking to each other and about each other and go out and communicate to the world that we may be fewer in numbers than we've ever been, but we carry the message they're waiting for. We must go forth from here united, determined, that what a great general said a few years ago is true. There is no substitute for victory. Mr. President,
but this speech, he gives a speech, is that he has no time to prepare. He's been asked to come down from the skybox at the last minute by the Ford forces. He's up in the skybox in Kemper Arena, live on national television, all three networks, broadcasting live, 17,000 people in Kemper Arena. He has no notes, no preparation, no teleprompter, no time to prepare whatsoever. And this is the speech he gives. It's masterful. Is that I've showed the speech many times to lecture coaches and speech coaches, and they say it's perfect in terms of content, in terms of cadence, in terms of delivery, in terms of output, in every imaginable way, in terms of eye contact, everything. But Reagan now is that everybody thinks, okay, well, it's over. It's 65 years old, which to me now doesn't seem so old. Actually, it's quite youthful, I think. But he's out campaigning in this is August '76, and he goes out campaigning in the fall. And every place he goes, chambermaids, cops, airline pilots, stewardesses, everybody says, Governor, you've got to run again. I saw your speech, I love your speech, you've got to run again. And I'm convinced that this is because everybody said, okay, you ran in '68, you lost to Nixon. You ran in '76, you lost to Gerald Ford. you've been around the track twice, you're 65 years old, the country, the party needs new, fresh, young leadership, supposedly. And this is what really turns it around for him, because he goes out and all these people are saying, you have to run again. And he does so, and he runs in 1980 and then changes our world. So really, the two, I mean, there are many primaries, there are many staff matters, and trials and tribulations, but the two seminal events which keep him in the campaign is winning New Hampshire, and which keeps him in the national headlines and toward 1980 is giving that speech in Kansas City. Sometimes I've written 4 books on Ronald Reagan. Zerina and I worked for Ronald Reagan, worked for the Republican National Committee, White House Conference on Small Business. I do a lot of consulting and talking for the library, things like that. And I want to read one thing from this to bring it home for you. It's from my book Last Act, which was actually about his post-presidency. The myth. I wrote this book because the myth was Reagan went back to California, announced he had Alzheimer's and died, which is just a tragedy to his legacy, because there was a lot of living that went on that long before the Alzheimer's. There was speeches and the building of a presidential library, and there's world travel and correspondence and a very active, vital life. He was fishing in Alaska, he was riding blimps, and he's going to Super Bowls. So that he was extremely active. He's 77 years old, and he's acting like a teenager. So it was a very. So I wrote this book to correct the record. It was just that he went to California, announced he had Alzheimer's and died. This was written part of a column written by a gentleman by the name of John Cass, who was a pretty good columnist in his day. Then came Reagan. He didn't care about satisfying the establishment by waxing on about shades of gray. He understood that there was good and evil in the world, and that we weren't evil. The Soviets were evil because they squashed the individual in the name of the collective. Big central governments everywhere are determined to maintain themselves at the cost of the individual. This is the nature, the danger of bureaucracies. Reagan understood this. He rebuilt the military, confronted the communists, and broke them. This outraged the handbringers of the shades of gray crowd. It enrages them still, which is why they're so eager to diminish him, to peel him, even in death. And what happened in the world? They call it freedom. They call it the American century. They don't call it the Soviet century. Thank you, President Reagan.
Why did you do it? Well, what impelled you to put aside the instinct for self-preservation and risk your lives to take these cliffs? What inspired all the men of the Army that met here? We look at you and somehow we know the answer. It was faith and belief. It was loyalty and love. The men of Normandy had faith that what they were doing was right, faith that they fought for all humanity, faith that a just God would grant them mercy on this beachhead or on the next. It was the deep knowledge, and pray God we have not lost it, that there is a profound moral difference between the use of force for liberation and the use of force for conquest. You were here to liberate, not to conquer. So you and those others did not doubt your cause. And you were right not to doubt. You all knew that some things are worth dying for. One's country is worth dying for, and democracy is worth dying for, because it's the most deeply honorable form of government ever devised by man.
And guide her to the light with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America,
Goodbye. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.